Do you feel it? That quiet, nagging tension in your chest when you think about money. It's the feeling of running a race you can never seem to win. You've done the work. You've set the intentions, repeated the affirmations, visualized the success. And yet true, lasting abundance feels like a horizon that constantly recedes as you approach it. What if I told you that you are running in the wrong direction? What if the entire race is based on a lie? A great and terrible deception that has held humanity captive for centuries. The deception that your worthiness is something you must earn. Welcome, fellow alchemist, to a space of transformation. My name is Elias Vance, and if you are here, it is because some part of you, deep within your soul, knows that there is another way. A path not of striving, but of becoming. Not of chasing, but of aligning. I remember a client I worked with years ago, a brilliant artist named Clara. She created beautiful work. She followed all the rules of manifestation. Yet she was constantly struggling, barely making ends meet. She would tell me, "Elias, I say I am wealthy 1,000 times a day, but my bank account just laughs at me." The problem wasn't in her words. It was in the feeling underneath them. When she said, "I am wealthy," her subconscious mind, her very energy was screaming, "I am not worthy of this." Her inner world and outer words were at war. And in the world of energy, the subconscious always wins. This audiobook is the peace treaty for that inner war. It is a journey we will take together, a guide to dismantling the false programming of unworthiness that has been silently sabotaging your efforts. We are not here to learn another trick or hack to get money. We are here to perform the most sacred alchemy of all, to transform your very identity so that abundance is no longer something you pursue, but something that pursues you. Over the next few hours, you will be given 9 alchemical keys, 9 principles, 9 shifts in consciousness designed to unlock the gates of your own inner treasury. We will explore why traditional affirmations often fail. We will confront the shadow energies of guilt and shame, and we will learn to craft a new reality from the inside out. This is not a lecture. It is an initiation. So find a quiet space. Allow yourself to be present. The journey to your own inner gold begins now. Chapter 1. The Golden Cage. Reconciling Spirituality and Wealth. Let us begin by addressing the elephant in the room, the great silent conflict that resides in the heart of so many seekers on the spiritual path. It's a paradox that can feel like a cage with golden bars, beautiful in its intention, but a prison nonetheless. The conflict between spiritual purity and the desire for material wealth. How many times have you heard it? Money is the root of all evil. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. Spiritual people shouldn't be concerned with worldly things. These phrases are not just words. They are deep, cultural and energetic programs that have been running in the collective subconscious for thousands of years. They create a profound schism, a belief that you must choose God or gold, spirit or security, purpose or prosperity, and so you find yourself stuck. You feel a genuine, soul-deep calling for freedom, for the ability to support your loved ones, to travel, to create without constraint, to contribute to the world on a grander scale. This desire is pure. It is natural. It is a life force impulse seeking greater expression. But as soon as this desire arises, the old programming kicks in. A wave of guilt washes over you. A quiet voice whispers, "Are you becoming materialistic? Are you losing your way?" This inner conflict is the primary source of sabotage for conscious individuals. Because you cannot move powerfully toward a goal that you simultaneously, on a subconscious level, judge as morally wrong. It's like trying to drive a car with one foot on the accelerator and the other slammed on the brake. You burn a tremendous amount of energy, create a lot of noise and smoke, but ultimately you go nowhere. You remain stuck in a state of financial frustration, which then reinforces the belief that you aren't meant to be wealthy, creating a vicious, self-perpetuating cycle. I want you to understand a fundamental principle of this work. Money is not good or evil. Money is energy. That is all. It is a neutral medium of exchange, a tool, a form of earthly power. Like a hammer, it can be used to build a home or to tear one down. The hammer itself has no morality. The morality, the energy, lies in the consciousness of the one who wields it. The universe, in its infinite intelligence, does not distinguish between a prayer for healing and an intention for $1 million. It responds to one thing and one thing only: energetic resonance. It responds to the clarity of your desire, the alignment of your belief, and the emotional frequency you are broadcasting. The universe is an amplifier. It takes the signal you are sending and reflects it back to you as your life experience. The core problem is that for many spiritual people, the signal they send about money is hopelessly corrupted. It's a broadcast filled with static and contradiction. I want abundance, you declare, but your energy whispers, "Yeah, but I feel guilty for wanting it." I desire financial freedom, you affirm, but your subconscious adds, "But wealthy people are often corrupt." I am open to receiving, you state, but your inherited lineage beliefs murmur, "But our family has always struggled." And to be different is to be disloyal. This is why the work of abundance is, first and foremost, inner work. It is the process of cleaning up your broadcast signal. It is about excavating these conflicting beliefs, holding them up to the light of your conscious awareness, and choosing a new truth, a more empowering truth. Consider this alchemical principle. Abundance is the natural state of the universe. Look at nature. It is not minimalist. It is not scarce. It is lavish, extravagant, and endlessly creative. A single tree produces thousands of seeds. The oceans teem with countless forms of life. The stars in the cosmos are innumerable. Scarcity is not a universal law. It is a human-perpetuated belief system. Scarcity is a product of fear consciousness. Abundance is the product of love consciousness, of recognizing the infinite generative power of source energy. Your desire for financial abundance is not a spiritual failing. It is a spiritual impulse. It is your soul yearning to experience the same lavish, creative freedom that is inherent in the fabric of existence. The desire for more money is often the desire for more life, more freedom, more expression, more impact. When you begin to see your desire for wealth not as a greedy grasp for possessions, but as a sacred yearning to be a more powerful conduit for good in the world, the entire energy shifts. Let's try a thought experiment. Imagine you woke up tomorrow with $10 million in your bank account, completely unearned. It simply appeared. After the initial shock, what is the very first feeling that arises? Is it joy, relief, freedom? Or is it fear, guilt, a frantic worry about how you'll manage it? Who will find out whether you deserve it? That first unfiltered emotional response is your truth. It is the compass needle, pointing directly to the beliefs you need to heal. For so many, that feeling is anxiety. Because on a deep level, they believe that having that much money would somehow corrupt them, isolate them, or make them a target. They have an energetic upper limit, a self-imposed ceiling on how much good, how much joy, how much abundance they are willing to let into their lives. The journey we are on is about shattering that ceiling. It's about giving yourself permission to want what you want, without apology or justification. It's about understanding that you can be deeply spiritual and wildly wealthy. In fact, I would argue that for the world to heal, it is essential that more conscious, heart-centered individuals become incredibly wealthy. Imagine the good that can be done when immense resources are guided by immense wisdom and compassion. So, the first alchemical key is this: release the judgment. Release the belief that there is a conflict. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, and that experience includes the material world. Your task is not to transcend the material, but to infuse it with spirit. To see your business, your investments, your bank account, not as separate from your spiritual practice, but as a direct extension of it. Your financial life is one of the greatest spiritual assignments you will ever be given. It is a mirror that reflects your deepest beliefs about yourself, about the world, and about God. And if you don't like the reflection you see, you don't fix it by breaking the mirror. You change the person standing in front of it. Chapter 2. The Empty Echo. Why Most Affirmations Fail the Worthiness Test. Now we arrive at one of the most common tools in the spiritual seeker's arsenal, the affirmation, and also one of the most misunderstood. It's an area that causes immense frustration, leading many to abandon the principles of manifestation altogether, concluding that it just doesn't work for me. The scene is familiar. You stand in front of the mirror as instructed by countless books and gurus. You look yourself in the eye and you say, with as much conviction as you can muster, I am a money magnet. I'm wealthy and abundant. You repeat it 10, 50, 100 times. You write it on sticky notes and place them around your home. You feel a momentary flicker of hope, a tiny spark of possibility. But days, weeks, and months go by, and your external reality remains stubbornly unchanged. The affirmation begins to feel like a lie. An empty echo in a hollow room. Why does this happen? Why do these seemingly powerful statements so often fall flat? The reason is simple yet profound. An affirmation is not a tool for convincing yourself of something you don't believe. It is a tool for expressing a belief you have already chosen to install. Most people use affirmations like they're trying to paint over a crumbling, mold-infested wall. They apply a thin, glossy coat of positive words, I am wealthy, over a deep foundational structure of unworthiness, scarcity, and doubt. And of course, within a short time, the old rot bleeds right through the new paint. This is not a failure of the affirmation. It is a failure of the strategy. You are working on the wrong level. The human mind operates on multiple layers. Think of it like an iceberg. The tiny tip above the water is your conscious mind, the part that sets goals, makes plans, and repeats affirmations. But the vast, massive structure beneath the surface is your subconscious mind. This is the realm of your deep-seated beliefs, your emotional programming, your core identity. Your subconscious mind is the operating system of your life. Your conscious mind is just one app running on that system. When you repeat an affirmation like, I am wealthy, your conscious mind might agree for a moment. But your subconscious mind immediately runs a fact check against its core programming. It looks at your bank account, remembers your family's history of struggle, feels the familiar clench of anxiety around bills, and it returns a verdict. Error. Statement does not match core programming. This is a lie, and what's worse, every time you repeat this lie, you can actually create a state of internal conflict that reinforces the very thing you're trying to change. It's a phenomenon known as psychological reactance. When you force a belief on yourself that your system knows isn't true, the subconscious pushes back hard. It's like a bodyguard protecting your core identity. Your conscious mind says, I am wealthy, and the subconscious bodyguard screams, no, you're not. You're the person who struggles. You're the person who worries. Don't you dare try to change that, because that identity, however painful, is what has kept us safe and known. I remember a conversation with a gentleman, a successful executive in his field, who was trying to break through to the next level of income. He told me, Elias, I just can't get past this plateau. I affirm my new income goal every single day. I asked him, when you say the number, what do you feel inside? He paused and then admitted, honestly, I feel like a fraud. I feel like an imposter. And there it was, the truth. His affirmation was not building his belief. It was simply highlighting his lack of it. So does this mean affirmations are useless? Not at all. It means we must use them alchemically. We must use them not as a coat of paint, but as the powerful solvent that helps to dissolve the old programming first. The first shift is to move from affirmations of outcome to affirmations of possibility and permission. If your system violently rejects I am a multi-millionaire, that's a sign the leap is too great. The energetic gap is too wide. Instead of forcing that statement, try something that your subconscious can actually begin to accept. Something like, I am open to the possibility of becoming a multimillionaire. It is becoming safe for me to welcome more wealth into my life. I am willing to see money in a new light. I give myself permission to release the patterns that no longer serve me. Can you feel the difference? These statements don't trigger the liar response. They are gentle invitations. They are questions posed to the subconscious mind, not commands that it will reject. They bypass the bodyguard and begin a quiet negotiation with the operating system itself. They plant a seed of possibility rather than trying to transplant a fully grown tree that has no roots. The second, and even more powerful, alchemical shift is to understand that the words themselves are the least important part of an affirmation. The power of an affirmation lies in the feeling and the energetic state it generates within you. The universe does not respond to your words. It responds to your frequency. An affirmation is a tool to tune your frequency. Let's go back to Clara, the artist. When she was saying, "I am wealthy," the feeling she was generating was one of lack, frustration, and desperation. She was screaming wealth with her mouth while screaming scarcity with her entire being. The universe, being a faithful amplifier, just sent her more experiences of scarcity to match her dominant energy. The work, then, is not to find the perfect words. It is to find the words that evoke the feeling of your desire fulfilled. This is the key. Instead of affirming the thing you want, the money, the car, the house, you must affirm the feeling state that thing will give you. What is it you truly want from more money? Is it security, freedom, peace, joy, contribution, power? Get to the root of the desire. The money is just the symbol. The feeling is the substance. So instead of, "I have $1 million, what if your affirmation was, "I am the embodiment of peace and security," or "I am a conduit for effortless flow and freedom," or "I am joyfully and generously contributing my gifts to the world"? These affirmations are about your state of being. And here is the magical part. Your subconscious mind cannot easily reject a statement about your being. It's much harder for the bodyguard to argue with "I am peace" than with "I have $1 million." You can choose to embody a state of being in any given moment, regardless of your external circumstances. You can find a moment of peace, even in the midst of financial chaos. You can experience a feeling of freedom by taking a walk in nature, even if your bank account is low. When you practice affirmations this way, you are no longer lying to yourself. You are practicing a new state of being. You are rehearsing the frequency of your desired reality. And through the law of resonance, a reality that matches that frequency must begin to coalesce around you. This is the difference between begging from the universe and commanding your reality. The empty echo of "I am wealthy" is a beggar's plea. It is a statement of lack, a cry from the outside looking in. The resonant power of "I am the embodiment of freedom" is a creator's declaration. It is a statement of being, an activation of power from the inside out. Before we move on, stop for a moment. Place a hand on your heart and say this aloud, gently. "I am willing to feel worthy now." Don't force it. Just offer it. Notice what happens in your body. That subtle shift, that small opening, that is where the real work begins. Chapter 3. The Alchemist's Mirror, Exposing Your True Money Identity. To truly transform your financial reality, you must become a master alchemist of your own consciousness. And the first rule of alchemy is that you cannot transmute a substance until you first understand its nature. You cannot turn lead into gold until you have thoroughly examined the properties of lead. In our work, the lead is your current money identity. Your money identity is the sum total of all the beliefs, stories, and emotions you hold about wealth and, more importantly, about yourself in relation to wealth. It's the character you unconsciously play in the drama of your financial life. Are you the struggling artist? The hard worker who never gets ahead? The one who always has just enough to scrape by? The person who isn't good with money? These are not just descriptions. They are identities, and the human psyche will fight to the death to remain consistent with its perceived identity. It's a survival mechanism. Our identity, no matter how limiting, provides a sense of certainty and predictability. To change it feels like a death, a leap into the terrifying unknown. This is why people will consciously declare they want to be wealthy, but then unconsciously make decisions, overspending, avoiding investment opportunities, failing to ask for a raise that perfectly preserve their identity as someone who struggles. So, how do we expose this hidden identity? How do we look into the alchemist's mirror and see what's truly there, beyond the masks we present to the world and even to ourselves? The process requires radical honesty and compassionate self-inquiry. I want you to take out a journal or simply create a quiet space in your mind and prepare to answer some questions. There is no judgment here. This is not about blame. This is an act of sacred excavation. The first layer we must examine are your inherited beliefs. You did not enter this world with a single thought about money. Every belief you hold was learned. It was absorbed from your parents, your relatives, your community, your culture. You downloaded their financial operating system without even realizing it. Ask yourself, what was the first conversation about money you remember hearing as a child? What was the general feeling around money in your childhood home? Was it a source of joy and ease or a source of tension, arguments and fear? What did your parents or caregivers say about rich people? Were they admired as smart and generous, or were they criticized as greedy, lucky or dishonest? What were the common phrases about money in your household? Money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford that. You have to work hard for every penny. These are not just phrases. They are hypnotic spells cast upon a young, impressionable mind. Write down everything that comes to mind. One of my clients, a man we'll call David, had a breakthrough when he did this exercise. He remembered his father, a kind and loving man, constantly saying, "Rich people have to step on others to get to the top." David had consciously rejected this idea, yet on a subconscious level, it had become a core part of his identity. His identity was a good person, and his subconscious had equated rich with not a good person. Is it any wonder he kept sabotaging his own success? To become rich in his inner world would have meant betraying his father and his own identity as a good man. The moment he made this connection consciously, he was able to begin the work of rewriting that story. He was able to choose a new belief. I can become wealthy by lifting others up. The second layer is your personal money story. These are the beliefs you formed based on your own direct experiences with money. Think about your first job, your first major purchase, a time you lost money unexpectedly, a time you received an unexpected windfall. Each of these events came with a powerful emotional charge, and that emotion became data for your subconscious. Ask yourself, what is the most painful financial memory you have? Allow yourself to feel the emotion associated with it. What conclusion did you draw about yourself or the world from that experience? I'm irresponsible. Money is unpredictable. I'll never get ahead. What is the most joyful financial memory you have? What did that feel like? Why was it joyful? What did you make it mean? Look at your financial life as if it were a movie. What is the repeating plot? Is it a tragedy, a comedy of errors, a drama of heroic struggle? You must see that you are not just experiencing a financial life, you are authoring one. And you have been writing the same chapter over and over because you have been attached to the identity of the main character. The moment you see that you are the author, you realize you have the power to start a new chapter, to introduce a plot twist, to change the genre entirely. The third and deepest layer is the mirror of worth. This goes beyond money. This is about your fundamental core belief about your own deservingness. Many people try to fix their money problems at the level of money. But the money problem is almost never about money. It is a worthiness problem in disguise. Money is simply the arena where your feelings of unworthiness get to play out most dramatically. Look into the alchemist's mirror and ask the hardest question of all. Deep down, beneath all the noise, do I truly believe I'm worthy of a joyful, easy, abundant life? Listen for the first answer that arises. Not the answer your intellect wants to give you, but the answer your body gives you. Does your stomach tighten? Does your chest feel heavy? That physical sensation is your subconscious speaking its truth. This is the bedrock. This is the foundation upon which your entire financial house is built. If the foundation is a belief in "I am not enough," you can have the most brilliant financial strategies in the world, and the house will inevitably crumble. This process of inquiry can be uncomfortable. It's okay to feel resistance. In fact, if you feel a little uncomfortable, it means you're doing it right. You are touching the lead. You are holding the raw material of your transformation in your hands. Be gentle with yourself. This is not about self-criticism. It is about self-awareness. The purpose of looking in the mirror is not to judge the reflection. The purpose is to see it so clearly that you can no longer deny its existence. For it is only when you see the identity you have been unconsciously embodying that you can consciously choose to create a new one. And in that choice, in that single conscious decision to stop being the struggler and start becoming the thriving creator, the entire universe rearranges itself around you. The alchemy begins. Chapter 4. The Shadow Ledger, Confronting the Currency of Guilt and Shame. As we venture deeper into the inner landscape of our financial world, we must inevitably confront its most powerful and shadowy guardians, guilt and shame. These are not mere emotions. They are potent, energetic forces that operate like a secret ledger in our subconscious. For every desire for more, this ledger records a corresponding debt of guilt. For every financial mistake, it levies a heavy tax of shame. This shadow ledger keeps our energetic accounts perpetually in the red, ensuring that we never feel truly deserving of prosperity. It's crucial to understand the difference between these two forces. Guilt says, "I did something bad." Shame says, "I am something bad." Guilt is about an action. Shame is about identity. And when it comes to money, they often work as a devastating tag team. Let's start with guilt. Spiritual guilt, as we touched on earlier, is the feeling that wanting money is inherently wrong, selfish, or unenlightened. This creates a constant state of self-sabotage. You might receive a bonus at work and immediately feel an urge to spend it all, almost to get rid of the unclean energy. Or you might undercharge for your services, feeling guilty for asking for what you're truly worth. Because a good person should be motivated by passion, not profit. I once worked with a healer, a truly gifted woman whose clients experienced profound results. Yet she lived in a state of perpetual financial anxiety. When we explored her beliefs, we uncovered a deep-seated guilt. She believed that because her healing gift came from God, it was a sin to charge significant money for it. She was caught in a trap. To honor her gift, she felt she had to remain poor. We had to do the deep work of reframing this belief. The alchemical shift for her was realizing that money was simply an exchange of energy. By allowing herself to receive generously, she was not profiting from God. She was honoring the value of the transformation she facilitated. It allowed her to sustain her work, to reach more people, and to be a living testament that healing and abundance are not mutually exclusive. She had to learn that keeping herself small and struggling served no one, least of all the people she was meant to help. Then there is the guilt of past mistakes. The bad investment, the credit card debt you racked up in your 20s, the business that failed. We carry these events not as lessons, but as life sentences. We replay them in our minds, and with each replay, we reinforce the identity of someone who is bad with money. This guilt becomes a justification for not trying again. I can't be trusted with money, the subconscious says, so it's safer if I don't have much of it. This is where shame enters the picture. Shame takes the guilt from a single event and metastasizes it into a core belief about who you are. It's the feeling of worthlessness that makes you hide your financial situation from others. It's the quiet burning humiliation when a credit card is declined. It's the envy that curdles into self-loathing when you see others succeeding. Shame convinces you that your financial struggles are a reflection of a deep, personal flaw, that you are uniquely broken. And because shame thrives in secrecy and silence, it becomes an incredibly powerful block to receiving help, to learning, and to growing. It keeps you isolated in your struggle, reinforcing the illusion that you are alone in this. So how do we begin to clear this shadow ledger? How do we alchemize these dense energies of guilt and shame? The process requires two key ingredients: compassion and forgiveness. The first step is to bring the ledger into the light. This is an act of incredible courage. I invite you to perform a ritual I call the Forgiveness Ledger. Take 2 sheets of paper. On the first sheet, title it Debts of Guilt. On this page, write down every single financial action you feel guilty about. Don't censor yourself. The money you wasted, the opportunity you missed, the person you feel you let down. Every single one. Write it down until the well runs dry. Now take the second sheet and title it Burdens of Shame. On this page, write down the identities and beliefs that these events have created. I am irresponsible. I am a failure. I am not worthy of success. I am foolish. Again, write it all down. Let the poison out onto the page. This act alone is profoundly healing. You are taking what has lived in the dark recesses of your mind and making it tangible. You are separating the events from your identity. You are witnessing your own pain without judgment. The second step is the alchemy of forgiveness. Look at the first list, the debts of guilt. For each item, I want you to perform a specific act of compassion. Realize that at the time of each of these actions, you were doing the absolute best you could with the knowledge, awareness, and resources you had. You did not wake up in the morning and decide to make a bad decision. You made a choice based on a need for safety, for pleasure, for relief from pain. Go down the list, and for each item, say these words aloud. Based on what I knew then, I did the best I could. I learned the lesson this experience was meant to teach me. I release the guilt, and I choose to forgive myself completely. Feel the energy of this statement. It's not about condoning the action. It's about releasing the energetic charge that has kept you chained to the past. Now turn to the second list, the burdens of shame. This is deeper work. Look at each of those painful I am statements. See them for what they are, not truths, but scars. They are stories you created to make sense of your pain. And now you can choose to write a new story. One by one, read them aloud. And after each one, I want you to declare, with power and authority, this is a story I used to tell myself. It is not who I am. I release this false identity and reclaim my inherent truth of worthiness. The final part of the ritual is a physical release. Take both of those pieces of paper and safely burn them. As you watch the smoke rise, visualize all the heavy energy of guilt and shame dissolving from your cells, from your mind, from your spirit. You are releasing the debt. You are clearing the ledger. You are declaring yourself free. This is not a one-time fix. It is a practice. The shadows may creep back in, but now you have a tool. Now you have a process. You have the light of awareness, and darkness cannot survive in the presence of light. By consistently meeting your guilt and shame with compassion and forgiveness, you starve them of their power. You begin to operate from a clean slate, an energetic account that is open, balanced, and ready to receive. Chapter 5. The Resonance Principle. Crafting affirmations of being, not wanting. We have journeyed through the shadows, cleared the ledger of guilt and shame, and looked into the mirror of our true money identity. Now we are ready to return to the practice of affirmations, but this time as master alchemists. We are no longer painting over rotten wood. We are working with a clean, prepared canvas. We are ready to craft a new reality based on the immutable law of the universe, the principle of resonance. The law of resonance is simple. Like attracts like. Your energetic frequency, the sum total of your dominant thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, acts as a vibrational signal that you broadcast out into the quantum field. The universe, which is fundamentally a field of infinite potential and energy, responds to this signal by arranging itself into circumstances, people, and experiences that are a perfect match for your frequency. This is why the old model of affirmation often fails. When you are in a state of lack, feeling unworthy and anxious, and you repeat, "I am wealthy," you are broadcasting a deeply dissonant, contradictory signal. The words say one thing, but your energy, your true broadcast, says the complete opposite. The universe, which always responds to energy over words, faithfully delivers more experiences that match your dominant frequency of lack. The secret to alchemical affirmation, therefore, is to stop affirming what you want and start affirming who you are choosing to be. It's a subtle shift in language, but it creates a seismic shift in energy. It is the difference between wanting and being. Wanting, by its very nature, is a declaration of lack. To say, "I want $1 million," is to energetically affirm, "I do not currently have $1 million." You are focusing on the gap, on the absence of the thing you desire. You are broadcasting the frequency of not having. Being, on the other hand, is a declaration of presence. It is an act of embodying the energetic signature of your desire right now, regardless of external evidence. It is the conscious choice to generate the feeling of your wish fulfilled before it has physically manifested. This is the great secret of all master manifestors. They understand that you do not get what you want. You get what you are. So how do we craft these powerful affirmations of being? We use a process I call feeling forward. First, identify your core desire. Let's say it's financial freedom. Now, instead of stopping there, go deeper. What is the feeling that financial freedom represents for you? Close your eyes for a moment and truly imagine it. Imagine waking up with no financial pressure. All your bills are paid. You have more than enough money for your needs, your desires, and your generosity. What is the dominant feeling in your body? Is it peace? Is it relief? Is it expansive freedom? Is it a sense of profound security? Is it limitless joy? Drill down until you find the one or two core feelings that are the essence of your desire. Let's say for you, the core feeling is peace. Now you have the raw material for your alchemical affirmation. You are no longer going to affirm the external outcome. "I am financially free." You are going to affirm the internal state of being that you will inhabit once that outcome is achieved. Your new affirmation becomes, "I am the embodiment of financial peace." Let's break down why this is so much more powerful. First, it is a statement of identity. I am. It is not about having or doing. It is about being. Second, it is emotionally resonant, peace. It connects directly to the feeling state, which is the engine of manifestation. Third, it is believable to the subconscious mind. While your subconscious might argue with, "I am financially free," by pointing to your bank account, it cannot argue with your choice to embody peace. You can find a moment of peace right now by breathing, by being present. You can practice the feeling. Here are a few more examples of this alchemical transformation. Instead of, "Money flows to me easily and effortlessly," which implies it currently does not, try, "I am a conduit of effortless flow. I am open and receptive to abundance in all its forms." This affirms your nature as a channel, not a beggar, instead of, "I am a millionaire," which can trigger the imposter syndrome. Try, "I am the energy of security, freedom, and generosity. I'm a conscious steward of immense wealth." This focuses on the qualities you will embody and the responsibility you will hold, instead of, "I am debt-free," which keeps your focus on the word debt. Try, "I'm financially whole and complete. My financial world is organized in perfect divine order." This focuses on the desired state of wholeness and harmony. Once you have crafted your new affirmations of being, the next step is the practice. And this is not a practice of mindless repetition. It is a practice of embodiment. Find a quiet time each day, preferably in the morning, before the mind is cluttered with the day's concerns. Close your eyes. Take several deep cleansing breaths. Then state your affirmation, either aloud or silently, but don't just say the words. As you say them, your primary task is to generate the feeling of those words in your body. If your affirmation is, "I am the embodiment of financial peace," then your job is to feel peace flooding every cell of your being. Feel your shoulders relax. Feel your jaw unclench. Feel a warmth spread through your chest. Stay with that feeling for several minutes. Bathe in it. Let it become your dominant state. This is your true work. You are no longer trying to convince the universe to give you something. You are calibrating your own frequency to match the reality you wish to experience. You are becoming a vibrational match to your desire. I once explained this to a client who was a musician. He got it instantly. He said, "So it's like tuning my instrument. I can't play a beautiful symphony if my guitar is out of tune. I have to tune myself to the frequency of abundance first, and then the music of my life will naturally become harmonious." Exactly. This is the resonance principle in action. You tune yourself first. You practice the state of being. You make the feeling of financial peace or freedom or joy your familiar home. And as you do this, day by day, you are sending a clear, coherent, and powerful signal out into the quantum field. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, has no choice but to respond. It will begin to orchestrate events, opportunities, and ideas that are a perfect vibrational match to the new you. You won't have to chase abundance anymore. It will find you, because you are no longer a person wanting peace. You have become peace itself, and everything that resonates with peace, including financial peace, will be drawn to you as if by an inescapable magnetic force. This is not magic. This is physics. This is alchemy. Chapter 6, The Sacred Ritual. A guided practice to embody worthiness. Words and concepts can take us only so far on this journey. To truly anchor the transformation we have been discussing, we must move from the realm of intellect into the realm of direct experience. We must engage not just the mind, but the body, the heart, and the spirit. In this chapter, I will guide you through a sacred ritual, a meditation designed to help you bypass the conscious, critical mind and speak directly to the subconscious, reprogramming your core identity at the level of energy and feeling. This is the practice of embodying worthiness. I encourage you to not just listen to these words, but to participate fully. Find a comfortable position, either sitting upright with a straight spine or lying down. Ensure you will not be disturbed for the next 15 to 20 minutes. Close your eyes and let's begin. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, filling your belly and your lungs completely. And as you exhale, release the breath with a soft sigh, letting go of the day, letting go of any tension in your body. Again, a deep breath in, drawing in life, drawing in possibility. And a long, slow breath out, releasing all that no longer serves you. One more time. The deepest breath you've taken all day. Hold it for a moment at the top, and then release it completely, allowing your body to become heavy, relaxed, and still. Bring your awareness to the space around you. Feel the air on your skin. Notice the silence between sounds. You are here. You are present. You are safe. Now I want you to bring to mind the energy of money. Just the concept of it. Don't think about your specific financial situation. Just feel the energetic signature of wealth, of abundance. And notice what happens in your body. Is there a clenching, a tightness, a sense of unease? Just observe it without judgment. This is the old programming, the old resistance. And we are simply here to witness it with love. Now I want you to imagine in front of you a beautiful, full-length, ornate mirror. The Alchemist's mirror. It is framed in soft, glowing gold. As you look into this mirror, you see your own reflection. But this is not just any reflection. This mirror reflects not your physical body, but your energetic self. It reflects your deep subconscious beliefs about your own worth. Look at the reflection, and for a moment, allow it to show you the truth of the old identity. Perhaps the reflection looks small or burdened. Perhaps it looks tired from struggling for so long. Perhaps it is turning away, afraid to meet your gaze. See the unworthy self that has been running the show. And I want you to send it nothing but love. This part of you was created to keep you safe based on old information and old pain. Place a hand over your heart and speak to this reflection. silently in your mind. Say to it, I see you. I honor your journey. I thank you for protecting me. But your service is now complete. We are choosing a new way. Now watch as the reflection in the mirror begins to change. The old burdened self begins to dissolve like smoke, fading away gently and peacefully. And in its place, a new reflection begins to form. This is the reflection of your true self, your higher self, the part of you that has never for a moment forgotten its inherent, infinite worth. See this version of you standing tall, radiant, and serene. There is a soft golden light emanating from this being's heart center. Their eyes are filled with wisdom, peace, and unconditional love. They are calm, powerful, and at complete ease. This is the you that exists beyond all doubt, all fear, all limitation. This is your abundance identity. As you gaze upon this magnificent reflection, notice how it feels to be in its presence. Feel the peace. Feel the certainty. Feel the profound, unshakable knowing of your own value. This is your truth. Everything else has been a story. Now watch as this radiant reflection of your true self slowly lifts its hand and places it on the mirror, directly over its own heart. I want you to, in your physical body, place your hand on your own heart, mirroring the gesture. Feel the warmth of your hand on your chest. Through the mirror, your true self is about to speak to you. It will not use words, but energy and feeling. Prepare to receive. As you stand there connected heart to heart, feel a wave of pure golden energy flowing from the mirror through your hand and into your heart center. This is the energy of unconditional worthiness. It is not something you have to earn or prove. It is your birthright. It is what you are made of. Allow this golden light to fill your entire heart space. Feel it dissolving any remaining knots of fear, any residue of guilt, any stains of shame. This light is a powerful solvent, and it purifies everything it touches. Now allow this golden light to expand, moving from your heart down into your solar plexus, the center of your personal power. Feel it filling you with a quiet, unshakable confidence. A deep knowing that you are capable, you are creative, and you are powerful. Allow the light to flow down through your legs and into your feet, grounding you to the earth. Feel the solid connection to the planet, a planet of immense abundance, your home. Feel the stability and security in your foundation. Now let the light flow upwards from your heart, up into your throat, clearing the way for you to speak your truth, to ask for what you desire, and to declare your value to the world. Let it flow up into your mind, illuminating your thoughts, replacing anxious chatter with a calm clarity. And finally, let it flow out through the crown of your head, connecting you to the infinite intelligence and abundance of the universe. You are now filled, from head to toe, with the golden light of your own innate worthiness. You are not trying to be worthy. You are worthy. You are breathing it. You are feeling it. You are embodying it. This is your new energetic set point. This is your new home. From this place of embodied worthiness, let us plant the seeds of our new affirmations. Silently or aloud, repeat after me. Feeling the truth of each statement resonate in every cell of your being. I am inherently worthy of all the abundance the universe has to offer. It is safe for me to be powerful and prosperous. I am a perfect expression of divine intelligence, and I deserve a life of joy, ease, and freedom. I release all resistance to receiving. I am an open channel for wealth to flow to me and through me. I am love. I am peace. I am abundance. And so it is. Pause. Let the music hold the space. Now take one last look at the radiant being in the mirror. See that it is not separate from you. It is you. This is who you truly are. Give it a nod of recognition, of gratitude, of love. And watch as the mirror gently fades, leaving the feeling, the energy, the golden light fully integrated within you. Slowly, gently, begin to bring your awareness back to your physical body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Feel the surface beneath you. When you are ready, and only when you are ready, you may open your eyes. Carry this feeling with you. This is your touchstone. Whenever you feel doubt or fear creeping in, you can close your eyes, place a hand on your heart, and remember this golden light. Remember the reflection of your true self. This is your anchor in the new reality you are creating. This is your sacred ritual of becoming. Chapter 7. The Compassionate Guardian. Tending to resistance and inner sabotage as you begin to implement these practices and embody your new identity of worthiness. It is almost certain that you will encounter a force from within, a pushback. This force is often called the inner critic, the ego, or the saboteur. It is the part of your psyche that is deeply invested in maintaining the old status quo, the old identity. When it senses you are making real, profound changes, it will often rise up with surprising intensity. This resistance can manifest in many ways. It might be a sudden flood of cynical thoughts. This is all nonsense. This will never work. Who are you kidding? It could be a wave of intense fear or anxiety that seems to come from nowhere. It might manifest as a sudden urge to engage in old self-sabotaging behaviors. Binge-watching television instead of doing your embodiment practice, or making an impulsive, unnecessary purchase right after you've committed to a new financial plan. It is absolutely critical to understand what this resistance is and, more importantly, what it is not. It is not a sign that you are failing. It is not proof that this work isn't for you. On the contrary, the emergence of strong resistance is one of the most powerful signs that you are succeeding. It is a sign that you are making such significant progress that the old programming has activated its emergency defense systems. It is fighting for its life because it senses it is about to be rendered obsolete. The common approach to this inner saboteur is to fight it, to try to silence it, to argue with it, to shame it into submission. This is the path of inner warfare, and it is a battle you can never truly win. Fighting your resistance only makes it stronger because you are feeding it with the powerful energy of your attention. The alchemical approach is radically different. It is the path of the compassionate guardian. Instead of treating your resistance as an enemy to be vanquished, you must learn to treat it as a scared child that needs to be heard, understood, and reassured. Think about it. This part of you, this identity of the struggler or the unworthy one, has been in charge for a very long time. It believes, in its own distorted way, that it has been keeping you safe. The identity of someone who never has enough might be painful, but it's also predictable. It protected you from the perceived dangers of wealth, the jealousy of others, the responsibility, the fear of losing it all. It kept you small because small felt safe. Now here you come, with your golden light and your affirmations of worthiness, threatening to tear down the entire fortress this identity has built. Is it any wonder it's terrified? Is it any wonder it's screaming and throwing things to get your attention? So when the voice of doubt arises, your task is not to fight it. Your task is to pause, take a breath, and greet it with compassion. You can literally say, internally, hello there, resistance. I see you. I hear you. Thank you for trying to protect me. I know you're scared of this change. This single act of acknowledgement is profoundly disarming. The saboteur, like a child throwing a tantrum, is primarily seeking attention. When you give it calm, loving attention instead of fighting it, it begins to lose its power. It has no fuel for its fire. I often guide my clients through a dialogue process. When a limiting belief or a fearful thought comes up, I have them actually write it out. For example, the thought might be, if I become truly wealthy, my friends will resent me and I'll be all alone. Instead of arguing with it, no, they won't. And you engage it with curiosity. You become a compassionate journalist. You ask it questions. Where did you learn this belief? Who taught you this? What are you afraid would happen if this came true? What do you need to feel safe? As you listen to the answers that arise from within, you will often find that the fear is rooted in a very old, very young part of you. It might be the memory of a childhood friend being jealous of a new toy. The resistance is not based on your current reality. It's an echo from the past. Once you have heard it out, you can then act as the wise, loving adult. You can reassure it. You can say, I understand that you're scared of being alone. I want you to know that I will not abandon you. And I am choosing to create a new reality where I am surrounded by people who celebrate my success. It is safe for us to grow. It is safe for us to expand. This is not about intellectual agreement. It's about emotional reassurance. You are reparenting the wounded parts of your own psyche. You are becoming your own compassionate guardian. This approach applies to sabotaging behaviors as well. If you find yourself mindlessly scrolling on your phone when you intended to meditate, don't beat yourself up. That's the old way. The new way is to pause and ask with genuine curiosity, what is this behavior trying to give me right now? What feeling am I trying to avoid by distracting myself? Often, the answer is a fear of success, a fear of what will happen if this work actually works. By bringing awareness to the dynamic, you interrupt the unconscious pattern. You bring the choice back into the conscious realm. This journey of transformation is not a straight line to the top of a mountain. It is more like a spiral dance. You will cycle through moments of incredible clarity and expansion, and you will cycle through moments of doubt and contraction as you integrate the next level of your being. This is normal. It is part of the process. Your success is not determined by the absence of resistance. Your success is determined by how you meet the resistance when it arises. Do you meet it with frustration and self-judgment, thereby strengthening the old pattern? Or do you meet it with the calm, loving presence of the compassionate guardian, thereby dissolving its power and integrating its energy back into the whole? Every time resistance appears, I want you to reframe it. See it not as a problem, but as an opportunity. It is a signpost pointing you directly to the next belief that is ready to be healed. It is an invitation to go deeper in your practice of self-love and compassion. If you can learn to welcome your resistance as a guide, to listen to its fears with an open heart, and to reassure it with the truth of your new identity, then nothing can stop you. You will have transformed your greatest inner adversary into your most powerful ally on the path to abundance. Chapter 8. The Quantum Leap. Aligning action with your new abundance identity. We have done a tremendous amount of inner work. We have excavated our beliefs, healed the wounds of guilt and shame, and practiced the embodiment of a new, worthy identity. This is the foundation. This is the 90% of the work that happens on the invisible energetic planes. But now we must build upon that foundation. We must bridge the inner world and the outer world. It is time to talk about action. This is where many on the spiritual path can get stuck. There is a common misconception in the world of manifestation that if you just sit on your cushion and visualize hard enough, a suitcase full of money will magically appear on your doorstep. The inner work is absolutely essential. It is the cause, but manifestation is completed when that inner shift is expressed through aligned, inspired action in the physical world. However, the action that arises from your new abundance identity is radically different from the action that comes from the old paradigm of struggle and hustle. Action from a place of lack and unworthiness feels like pushing. It's frantic, desperate, and exhausting. It's the hustle culture mentality of working 80 hours a week, forcing things to happen, and constantly striving. It's rooted in the belief that if I just do enough, maybe then I'll be worthy of success. It is action taken to get something. Action from a place of wholeness and worthiness feels like being pulled. It is inspired, intuitive, and often effortless. It's rooted in the belief that I am already worthy, and this action is the natural, joyful expression of my abundant self. It is action taken to give something, to express a truth that is already alive within you. So, how do you recognize and take this inspired action? It starts by cultivating a deep state of listening. Once you have done your embodiment practice and tuned your frequency to the state of abundance, your primary job is to pay attention. The universe will begin to speak to you. It speaks in the language of intuition, synchronicity, and opportunity. Inspired action often shows up as a nudge, a sudden, clear idea that pops into your head while you're in the shower, a recurring thought to call an old colleague, a feeling of being drawn to a certain book, workshop, or article, an unexpected conversation that opens a door you never even knew was there. The key is that these nudges often don't seem logically connected to your big financial goal. This is where trust comes in. The conscious mind likes to plan everything in a straight, logical line from A to B to C. The universe, however, works in the quantum realm of infinite possibilities. It sees the shortcut from A to M to F to Z. Your job is not to figure out the whole path. Your job is to simply follow the next inspired step that is illuminated in front of you. I had a client, a consultant, who wanted to land a major corporate contract. He did the inner work, clearing his belief that he was too small to work with big companies. He embodied the identity of a confident, high-value expert. Then he waited. Logically, he thought he should be making cold calls, but he felt no energy for it. It felt like pushing. Then one day, he got a sudden, strange nudge to go to a local art museum in the middle of a Tuesday. It made no logical sense, but it felt light, expansive, and inspiring. He decided to trust it. While at the museum, he struck up a conversation with a woman who was admiring the same painting. It turned out she was a senior executive at his #1 target company. That conversation led to a coffee. The coffee led to a meeting. And the meeting led to him landing the biggest contract of his career. There is no way he could have planned that. He simply aligned his energy and then followed the inspired, illogical step. This brings up a crucial distinction, the difference between inspired action and massive action. The hustle culture tells you to take massive, relentless action. The alchemical path tells you to take potent, precise, inspired action. One inspired action, taken from a state of complete alignment, is more powerful than 1,000 actions, taken from a state of desperation and lack. So how does this look on a practical level? It means you align your external financial actions with your new inner identity. If your new identity is, I am a conscious steward of wealth, what is one small action a conscious steward would take today? Maybe it's finally setting up a meeting with a financial advisor. Maybe it's creating a separate savings account for your dreams. Maybe it's simply taking the time to review your bank statements with a sense of calm power, rather than fear and avoidance. If your new identity is, I am a person of immense value, what inspired action could you take? Perhaps it's finally raising your prices to reflect the true value you provide. Perhaps it's applying for that job that you previously thought was out of your league. Perhaps it's investing in yourself through a course or coaching that will expand your skills. Notice that these actions are not about getting money. They are about behaving like the person who is already wealthy, valuable, and worthy. You are acting as if your desire is already a reality. This is the quantum leap. You are collapsing the time between your desire and its manifestation by embodying the identity of its fulfillment now. A powerful way to check if an action is inspired or forced is to use your body as a compass. Think about the action you're considering. Does the thought of it make your body feel expansive, light, and energized? That's a green light. That's inspiration. Or does it make your body feel constricted, heavy, and tired? That's a red light. That's your ego trying to push. It is also vital to practice non-attachment to the outcome. Take the inspired action because it feels good and right in the moment, not because you are desperately trying to control a specific result. Send the email, make the call, start the project, and then let it go. Release it to the universe. Trust that you have done your part, aligning your energy and taking the inspired step, and now the universe will do its part. This is the dance of co-creation. You are not a passive bystander, nor are you a lone warrior fighting against the world. You are a dance partner with the universe. You listen for the music, you feel the rhythm of inspiration, and you take the step. The universe responds, and the dance continues, leading you to places more beautiful and abundant than your logical mind could have ever conceived. Chapter 9. The Final Alchemy, Becoming the Abundance You Seek. We have arrived at the final stage of our alchemical journey. We have traveled from the murky depths of our subconscious, clearing the lead of our limiting beliefs, and have emerged into the light, ready to claim our golden inheritance. We have learned that abundance is not something you acquire. It is something you become. This is the final alchemy. It is the integration of everything we have learned. It is the shift from doing these practices to being the embodiment of their truth. It is the moment the alchemist realizes that the gold he was seeking to create was within him all along. The entire process was simply a journey of remembering his own nature. At this stage, the separation between your inner world and the outer world begins to dissolve. You no longer see your spiritual practice as something you do for 20 minutes in the morning, and your financial life as something you manage the rest of the day. You see that it is all one unified field of energy. How you feel when you meditate is directly connected to the opportunities that show up in your inbox. The compassion you show to your inner saboteur is reflected in the kindness you receive from others. The value you place on yourself is mirrored by the income you command in the marketplace. Life ceases to be a series of random, disconnected events and becomes a beautiful, intelligent feedback loop. Your external reality becomes your greatest spiritual teacher. When a financial challenge arises, your first question is no longer, "What do I do?" but rather, "What is this situation reflecting back to me about my own state of being? What belief within me is calling for healing or alignment?" You move from being a victim of your circumstances to being a conscious creator of your reality. This is true power. Not the power to control the world, but the power to master your own inner state, knowing that the world will inevitably follow. In this final stage, your relationship with money is completely transformed. Money is no longer a source of stress or a measure of your worth. It becomes a playful, joyful tool for self-expression and contribution. You see it for what it is, a symbol of the value you create and the trust you have in the flow of life. You develop what I call prosperity consciousness. This is a state of being where you are so deeply anchored in your own worthiness and your connection to Source that the concept of lack no longer has a place to land in your mind. You know with a certainty that transcends belief that you are infinitely supported. You know that you are a channel for the universe's abundance and that your needs will always be met, often in the most magical and unexpected ways. A person with prosperity consciousness can lose a job or face a business downturn and not be shaken to their core. They may feel a momentary human emotion of concern, but their foundational state is one of trust. They know that this is not a punishment, but a redirection. It is the universe clearing space for something even better to arrive. They hold the calm certainty that every ending is a new beginning in disguise. This is true financial freedom. It's not about having a specific number in your bank account. I've met multimillionaires who live in a constant state of fear and scarcity, terrified of losing what they have. And I have met people of modest means who live in a state of profound abundance, feeling rich in love, in community, in creativity, and trusting that all their material needs are always provided for. True wealth is an inside job. It is a state of consciousness. So how do we live in this state of being? We commit to it daily. This is not a destination you arrive at and then you are done. It is a practice. It is a moment-by-moment choice. It is choosing to meet a bill in the mail with gratitude for the service you received, rather than anxiety about the payment. It is choosing to celebrate the success of others, knowing that their abundance is proof of what is possible for you, rather than a sign of what you lack. It is choosing to invest in yourself, your growth, your joy, seeing it not as an expense, but as a declaration of your own value. It is choosing to be generous, to give freely from whatever you have, whether it's your time, a smile, or your money, knowing that giving opens the channels to receive even more. This is the final alchemy, to realize that you are not seeking abundance. You are abundance. You are a unique expression of the infinite creative source of all that is. You are a walking, talking vessel of divine energy, temporarily focused in this human form. And that energy is limitless. Your work is simply to remove the kinks in the hose, to clear the blocks you have placed between yourself and your own infinite nature. Every belief in scarcity, every feeling of unworthiness, every moment of guilt is a block in that flow. And everything we have done on this journey has been about removing those blocks. So, as we conclude our time together, know that this is not an ending. It is a commencement. You have been given the keys. The alchemical principles are now yours. Your laboratory is your life. Your great work is to live this truth, to embody it so fully that your very presence becomes a testament to what is possible. You came here seeking the secret to attracting wealth. And I hope you have found it. The secret is that there is no secret. There is only the remembrance of who you truly are. You are worthy. You are powerful. You are a creator, and you are and always have been infinitely abundant. Outro, the Alchemist's seal. We have reached the end of this particular part of our journey together. But in truth, it is only the beginning of your great work. The principles and keys shared in this audiobook are not meant to be static knowledge, but living, breathing practices. Return to them, meditate with them, let them guide your actions and reshape your world from the inside out. Remember, the path of the alchemist is not a race. It is a deepening, a constant unfolding of the truth that already resides within you. As you continue on your path, there is more support here for you. On the left of your screen, you will find our foundational playlist, Start Here, The Foundations of Abundance, a collection designed to deepen the core principles we've explored today. And on the right, you will find a video the universe has selected specifically for your journey next. Trust the guidance. The most important step is always the next one you take. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide. It is an honor to walk this path with you. This is Elias Vance reminding you the greatest wealth you will ever own is the knowledge of who you truly are.